Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're doing the best wheated bourbon shootout. So stick around and buckle up for safety. You never know how wild things could get. So first up on the docket tonight, killed the last of this bottle in the review, but this is a Wilderness Trail cask strength store pick. How much better could it get? If you watch any of my previous videos on Wilderness Trail, you know I love a good Wilderness Trail. The yellow here signifies this is their wheated bourbon mash bill, and this one comes in at about 105. It's a little tad, a touch above 105 proof. It was aged 4 years and 4 months in number 4 char. So I think these are delicious. Clearly I've enjoyed this bottle. We'll see how it fares tonight. Second is Larceny Barrel Proof. Oh, probably my favorite wheated bourbon. At least I think so. But that would be C922. This tonight is B522, which I also thought was good. If you want to go check out my review. This one comes in at 123.8 proof. Compute 61.9% alcohol by volume. These are a blend of a 6 to 8 year wheated bourbons from Heaven Hill. I like the A, the B, and the C batch from 2022. Haven't seen the 2023 in PA yet. Maybe will, maybe won't. Who knows? PA is probably still... Actually, PA is still on the B522 batch from last year. And here we are in March. Next up, Maker's Mark Burt 1, or BRT-01, as some say. This sucker comes in at 109.4 proof. Compute 54.7% alcohol by volume. I do have BRT-02, which just like the Larceny, I have C922, but I had A122. Well, you know what to include. I told my wife to go pick a Maker's, told her to pick a Larceny Barrel Proof. I grabbed the Wilderness Trail and the Weller because I only have one of those. But I asked her to pick between these two, and this is what she picked. And, I guess she's patriotic because this one's finished in 10 virgin toasted American oak staves. So if you didn't watch my video on the Maker's Mark BRT-01 and BRT-02, go do so. I'll try to remember to link it above. Last but not least, Weller Antique 107. Coming in at, you guessed it, 107 proof. Compute 53.5%. alcohol by volume. And you might ask yourself, well, Bourbon Bill, why didn't you include a Weller Full Proof? I don't have one. I do not own a bottle of that. I'm thankful to some of you viewers and subscribers. I was able to taste some as samples. So we got a Weller Antique here. It is a store pick. The only bottle of Weller Antique I've ever seen and owned. So I get that it's hard to get, but I had to throw it in here tonight. So what is this shootout, right? It's a wheated bourbon shootout. Some of these are barrel proof, but not all. Actually, really, this one's not. But they're all about the same price. Maker's Mark is about $60 to $65 hairs. This is about $50 hairs at MSRP. Larceny Barrel Proof, $50 hairs at MSRP, and the Wilderness Trail is $50 to $60 hairs at MSRP. So it's best wheated bourbon in the $50 to $60 hair range. That's what we're going with tonight. So my lovely wife Rita poured these blind, but I'm feeling real confident tonight. We're gonna be able to pick out what these are. But I'm unsure of my rankings. I really enjoy all of these. I've never thought about where I'd rank them. In the green, let's give it a nosing. Gosh, that smells good. It's like creamy vanilla caramel. There's some oak in there. A lot of like baking spices, like just some sweet baking spices. God, that smells. My mouth is watering. Let's take a sip. Ooh, that is delicious. It's all caramel, baking spices. I get a hint of red fruit in there. Man, is that good. It is very silky and creamy on the mouthfeel. Crap. I felt so... I don't know what that is off the top of my head. We'll have to do some process of elimination. Up next, the gold. Man. This smells extremely caramely. Tons of marshmallow and wood. Oh, this smells like Maker's Mark. Let's take a sip. Wow, is that good. Oh! Thick on the mouth. Tons of wood. I'm guessing that is Maker's Mark, and that's that American oak staves that they put in there. It is just fantastic. Very marshmallowy, very woody, and tons of caramel. Like I said, a little bit of fruit on there. Gosh, where do you place that? I mean, it's delicious. Next up, the black. Oh, I'm getting some chocolate hazelnut here. This one's got a little bit more oak. You know, this one's singeing my nostrils here. This this one smells a little higher improved. It's probably the larceny. I get the Wheater funk, a little bit of that bready note in here. This one's got some peppercorns on it. You know, it smells hotter, a little bit more ethanol-y, but it is like it's like a chocolate chip cookie or something going on there. Let's take a sip. That is dessert in a glass. Wow. I definitely think that's the larceny on there. Definitely hotter. It does still come off pretty smooth. It kind of tastes like a chocolate chip cookie. I get the chocolate. I get like a bready note in there. A little bit of baking spice. Not as much oak as actually, well, not as much wood as the gold, which I believe is the Maker's Mark. Next up, the blue here. Last, but certainly not least. Oh man, this is a little oaky piece of bread here. Some caramels, but this is probably the least sweet of all of these here tonight. It's more savory. Tons of baking spices here. It is like the most delicious bread you've ever smelled coming out of the oven. With some caramel and baking spices. Let's take a sip. Oh my gosh. How am I going to rank these? That's delicious. Oh, exactly what I said comes through on the palate. It's just all these baked bread goods. Not youthful in any way. Don't get me wrong. It is far more savory. It is a lot less sweet than the other ones. But it's very silky on the mouthfeel. Has a good little dollop of baking spices and caramel in it too. It's not bad. I don't even know where to begin to rank these. I was going to say we'll go back through them off camera, but I'm going to have to go back and smell them again. Alright, the first one is smelling like strawberries and cream now all of a sudden. Well, okay, that seals the deal. This is the Weller then. The last one is the Wilderness Trail. So, there we go. I think that's what's going on here. Yeah, this is still Maker's Mark. Well, now this kind of smells... I think this is a larceny. Alright, I'm going to go back through these off camera, rank them. And I think my guesses are pretty solidified, but I'll let you know if they change. And then we'll come back to you for the rankings and results. Alright, we're back with my rankings and soon to be results. So, last place was the black, which I believe was a larceny barrel proof B522. It was very good, you know, chocolate, cocoa notes on it. It just had a kind of a short finish for being the highest proof here, if that's what it is. Third place was the green, which I believe was the Weller. So, shocker to all you Weller fanatics out there. Didn't even make top 2, if that's what it is. It was very sweet, so if you like that sweet, you know, candy-like Buffalo Trace, it might place higher for you. Second place was the blue, which I believe was actually the Wilderness Trail. So, the youngest one up here, if I'm right, got second. It had like ended up with like a tobacco leaf in there as well. Just a little bit darker profile, not sweet at all. But so had the caramel, you know, the breadiness. It had a longer finish than the Weller and the Larceny Barrel Proof for being the lowest proof up here. So, again, Wilderness Trail is killing the game. If you haven't bought one of their cask strengths of the wheated, the bourbon, or the rye, run away and go do that. First place, I believe, was the Maker's Mark BRT01. Just the thickest on the mouth feel, the most complex. But if you didn't like the woody marshmallow note, it wouldn't be for you. I will say that. But if you like that Maker's Mark note, they did a fantastic job with the BRT series. Let me grab the answer key and see how well we did, because I'm feeling 100% confident. Alright, we got our trusty answer key here, and in last place in the black was Larceny Barrel Proof B522. Damn, 1 for 1 so far. Like I said, just, it's good. It just, well, it definitely wasn't as good as C922. Say that. Third place, the green I said was Weller, was Weller. Oh! Gasps, shocks from the Weller Buffalo Trace fanboys and girls out there. That was a store pick too, and it didn't impress me much. Little Shania Twain, that don't impress me much. It's good. If you can get an MSRP for 50 bucks, it's a buy. It's delicious at 50. All right. Well, that leaves us with second and first. First place tonight, the gold. What? Maker's Mark BRT01, which means second place was the Wilderness Trail. So, 100% confident, 100% of a win tonight. The Maker's Mark wood finishing series, which, granted, not all this stuff is findable on the shelf today. I get it. I get it. Probably only the Wilderness Trail, and again, your store pick may vary. So, sorry for that. But I would say that the Maker's Mark wood finishing series or a private select that your local store may have picked would have ranked first or second, I think. So if you like what we saw tonight, please like, comment, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button. And the key takeaway here is that Maker's Mark is king of wheated bourbons. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.